This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and the lock I have for you today is the first car lock that I've ever featured on this channel, and it's the Honda Split Wafer lock. It's a lock that was used in Hondas from at least 2003, and it's still used in a couple of models today. It's a really interesting lock. The key is relatively unusual. If we look carefully at it, you can see it has bidding carved into the side and the mirror image of that bidding on the opposite side. The reason for that is that each side of the key engages separate wafers that are on either side of the lock, and I can actually show you those wafers right now. I have it such that this lock will come apart easily. And here we can see those wafers. You'll notice that one slot is left open right here. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but if I had to guess, I would say it's for valet keying. Valet keying is an arrangement where one key will work in the car doors and the ignition, but it will not open the trunk or the glove compartment. It's very possible that's facilitated by this empty slot in this cylinder, which is designed for the driver's side door. If we look a little bit more carefully at these wafers, you can see they have a bit of an angle cut in the edge of them, for instance right here. And what that does is make these wafers act a bit like spools when we're picking them. They give you a little bit of counter rotation and make picking just a little bit harder. One other thing that is of note for our picking is that the separate wafers go into separate recesses in the lock body. You can see those recesses are angled to accept the angles on the wafers, which make things just a little bit harder. And the fact that there is two of them is of note. And that's because when you pick this lock the first time, you will only be able to turn it about 45 degrees, at which point half of the wafers will re-engage, and then we'll have to pick it a second time before we can go to the limit of the lock's travel. Now, if all of this is looking just a little bit familiar to you, it's because you've been watching my channel and you saw a video a couple days ago, video number 362, of an antique lock called a Dudley Split Wafer. And I have that lock right here, and you can see very similar arrangement with different biddings on either side of the key. And then let me actually get the lock itself out for you. Let's hold these two cores next to each other, and you can see the construction is strikingly similar, all the way down to the fact that the wafers on both locks are angled to require counter rotation when picking. So two locks 80 years apart, but a nearly identical design, at least functionally so. I thought that was very interesting and certainly a point worth noting for you. However, what we're here to do today is pick this lock open, so let's do that right now. Now, this is a lock that is very awkward shaped, so it's hard to fit in a vise. So what I'm going to try to do is pick it open holding this in my hand. It's notable that usually the front of this lock would be covered with a little, I guess, door, and we would have to pick that open while picking. You can see this slot right here going across. That's where the axis for the little shutter would be, and some room right in the middle for a spring. Normally what we would do is use a Y-shaped tension wrench, place it in here to hold that shutter open while we're picking. But since we don't have that shutter on this lock, we can use more of an improvised tensioning method. And that's just going to be one of these, a little pry bar in the side. Okay. To pick this, we're going to do exactly what we did on the Dudley lock. We have to go and hit, see, two wafers in each quadrant. So I'll just go around clockwise, see what's binding, and hopefully we'll be able to open this up. Okay, on the upper left, nothing there. Upper right, I think I got a little click out of 1, nothing on 2. Bottom left, nothing there. Bottom right, nothing. Top left, again, nothing. Top right. Not getting a lot of movement out of anything here. Okay, there we go. Got a little click out of the top left. Okay, bottom left, nice big click now. Little movement on the core. Little counter rotation on the bottom right. And some more. Okay, up to the top left, nothing there. Okay. Not finding anything that's binding right now. It's just around the, oh, there's one, the top left. I guess I spoke too soon. Got another one on the bottom right. Okay, got one on top left. Okay, we picked it for the first time. You can see, uh-oh, I pulled that core out just a little bit, but hopefully that won't matter. You can see we turned about 45 degrees. Now let's pick it for the second time. There we go. We picked it the rest of the way. So, not too difficult to open, but it is a little bit of a challenge, particularly when you're holding it in an awkward position in your hand. In any case, I thought this was an interesting lock, if for no other reason than the fact that it is 80 years after the Dudley split wafer came out, but it's still a nearly identical design, and it's still relevant today. That's all I have for you on this Honda split wafer lock. If you have any questions or comments about it, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a nice day. Thank you.